Good morning everyone, it's Inge Hart, the Balanced Foodologist. Welcome at Food is the Gateway. I just finished my yoga practice, so I look a little bit messy, but that is what keeps me balanced. And it is actually my spiritual practice combined with my physical practice. But I promised you guys to talk about the 10 plant-based proteins. So that's what I'm going to do, no matter how I look, right? We want real life. So it's important, especially for people who are vegetarian or vegan, to know what are the best sources of protein. People become vegetarian or vegan because of different reasons. It can be animal welfare, hormones in the food that they don't want anymore, antibiotics. It can be about taste or difficulties with digestion. Those two were my reasons to become vegetarian. It can be weight loss or because of spiritual reasons. So a vegetarian diet doesn't necessarily mean a healthy diet, because if you don't eat meat but also have no education on how to cook and you don't know how to prepare a balanced meal, then you are what we call a junk food vegetarian. I mean, eating French fries and a cheese sandwich on white bread still, is not a healthy way of living, right? So here we go. The first plant-based protein of the 10 is grains. But make sure that you use the whole grains, because a lot of grains like rice, white rice that you find on the shelves are refined, which means that the germ and the bran are taken out, and then also all the fiber and minerals in there, which is good for you, are not in there anymore. So try to use whole grains like quinoa, buckwheat, millet, brown rice. The second one would be nuts. Nuts is also very high in healthy fats. So it's a great source actually also for gaining weight. Believe me, there are people out there who want to gain weight. I just had a client. So this is a great way how to gain weight. Eat nuts. Then the third one is eating beans. You have to be aware with eating beans that they're not really easy to digest. So some beans are easier than others. So when you start incorporating beans in your diet, I suggest you start with the easy ones, which would be like split peas, mung beans, or azuki beans. And then as you want to try more difficult beans like brown and black beans or kidney beans, you can first try to soak them. So the fourth protein is soya. It's the most difficult protein to digest and the most difficult bean to digest. The best way to consume it is as tofu or in a fermented form like tempeh or miso. But be aware, a lot of people are allergic or have food sensitivities when it comes to soy. Then we have soy and nut milks. People, it's not a whole food. And really, it's also highly processed unless you make it yourself at home. The sixth one is protein bars. Some are healthier than others, but many they contain refined carbohydrates or processed proteins, and really it's not a meal replacer. The seventh source of protein, plant-based protein, would be protein powder. So make sure if you used it that it's a high quality, because it's never recommended to use big quantities of protein powder. The eighth is seitan. Seitan is what we call wheat meat, because it's made from the gluten in wheat. So it's a high protein source, but again, be careful if you have a gluten allergy. Then you stay away from the seitan, right? And it's actually also highly processed unless you make it yourself at home. And it is a fun process. I once did it before I knew we had gluten intolerances. So it's a fun thing to make if you want to try some home cooking, but it is a bit advanced. So the ninth one is my favorite source of plant-based proteins, and that's the leafy greens. and also, of course, other greens. So examples would be like broccoli, kale, lettuce, bok choy, and it also contains major sources of magnesium, iron, and calcium. The last one is seeds. Seeds are very high in nutrition, and they are actually lower in calories than nuts. So if you want to lose some weight, you might prefer this source of proteins. And they are one of the few plant-based sources that actually also provide you with omega-3. So that's good to know, right? Because we always wonder, if we don't eat fish, where do we get our omega-3? Well, here. So what are seeds that you can use? Pumpkin, sunflower, chia seed, flax seed, hemp seed, or sesame seeds. All those nice things that I'm going to have in my breakfast after I finish talking to you guys. So here you have the 10 sources of plant-based proteins. But as you all know, you also have to eat according to your body type and also taking your current conditions into account. So that is why tomorrow I'm going to talk to you guys about eating right for your body type. So you will start learning which foods are also actually good for your body. So we're going to make it more individual. And if you want to learn more about food, I invite you to join the Facebook community, Food is the Gateway. And remember, as always, food is the gateway to living an energetic and fulfilling life.